all the countries are facing a shortage in fossil sources, which we have been using satisfactorily for more than 100 years. And with the rapid increase in the vehicle population, there's going to be a severe shortage in terms of the production as well as the availability of these fossil fuels. At the same time, utilization of these fossil fuels will result in causing very serious environmental damage, and thereby making all of us to go for different sources of energy, or maybe to go for alternative power plants altogether from the conventional gasoline or diesel engines. Now, when we take the case of electric mobility, there are a lot of opportunities for various countries to move in from the conventional fuel, passenger cars, as well as the commercial vehicles to move into electric vehicles. But the problem is, although the battery vehicles are focused to be greener vehicles, but we have a lot of challenges to be faced, like battery storage capacity, the battery range, the cost of batteries, disposal of batteries, and setting up of the infrastructure for charging these batteries are going to be the major challenge faced by the engineers all over the world. And if you look at the electric vehicle, you will find that yes, the technology wherein all the engineers, like the chemical engineer, the electrical engineer, the electronic engineer, the instrumentation and control engineers, mechanical engineers, the computer science engineers, all of them should work together to come out with the most successful battery operated vehicle, which will give better mileage and good range, at the same time having materials which causes less environmental damage when we go for disposal of these batteries. Well, when we look at the conventional automobiles, as I said before, we have these few automobiles making use of fossil fuels, which not only causes environmental damage, but also you will find that the efficiencies of these engines are very, very less. Like, for example, if you take the case of a gasoline engine, it gives an efficiency of only about 30 to 35%, and if you take the case of diesel engine, it gives an efficiency of about 40 to 45%. And this is where the developed nations are focusing and going in for alternative power plants, like not necessarily straight away transforming from the conventional engines to electric vehicles, but rather undergo a transformation, like you go for hybrid electric vehicle, which makes use of two power sources, namely the engine and the electric motor, which in turn would give better mileage and also reduce the fuel that is consumed, which is going to reduce the CO2 emissions as well. And from the hybrid electric vehicle, probably we can move on to the ultimately to the electric vehicle, which would be operated either by the sole batteries or by fuel cells. Well, right now, as I said before, that the batteries are the major component. So wherein we have to focus our attention in extending the range of batteries, and I think that is the only problem that is being faced by the electric vehicle operators as of today. And a lot of research work is going on in finding out the alternative materials which have higher storage ability. Like we started, even in the case of battery technology, we started with lead acid batteries, then we moved on to the nickel cadmium, from nickel cadmium to nickel metal hydrides, and today we talk about lithium ion. And again, in this lithium ion, there are various versions of those that are available. Now, the problem again here is the availability of lithium is going to be a critical issue in going in for electric vehicles. Yeah, if we look at the climate change, that is the major concern which makes us to look for alternative technologies in the automobile sector. We have been using these internal combustion engines for more than 100 years satisfactorily to throughout the world's roads. And if you take the case of these automobiles, and there are more than 1 billion vehicles being operated all over the world, and it has been projected that 15 to 20% of the major greenhouse gases is contributed by the automobiles alone. So every kilogram of fuel that is burned, like solid or the liquid or the gaseous fuel, 3 kilograms of carbon dioxide is what is emitted into the atmosphere. So you can imagine 1 billion vehicles and operating for so many kilometers consumes millions of liters or gallons of these fossil fuels. And ultimately we find that even if you look at India alone from the transportation sector contributes about 600 million tons of CO2. So imagine other developed nations too, which have a larger population of vehicles contributing significantly to the CO2 emissions. So as a result of the CO2 emission, what happens? You find that that causes a major change in the climate, resulting in the recent years, probably you have come across that even in desert regions, there were flooding that had taken place, like in Jeddah a few years back. And even if you take the case of US, like the hurricane that hit the Texas and the other states, and all these things, unprecedented rainfall, and where we have a clear rainfall season and you don't get rainfall. So all these kind of changes are taking place only because of these global warming gases. So there's no doubt that the automobiles are contributing significantly to the global warming, and that is where we look at the different technologies, and ultimately we look at the solar energy that's going to contribute absolutely no CO2 emissions or near zero CO2 emissions. Biofuels are not newer technologies. You find even in Brazil, they started as early as in 1980s. That it is the Brazil that showed the entire world that here's a fuel which could be a better alternative to gasoline, and that's ethanol. And since then, in Europe, in US, and in Japan, I think ethanol is playing a very vital role as a replacement for gasoline. And in fact, one technology that came out as a result of using this ethanol is the flexible fuel vehicles, or the fuel flexible vehicles manufactured by the Ford Motors Corporation, Chrysler Motor Corporation, and General Motor Corporation, the three giants of the US who came out with this technology, which had the feature of operating with any percentage of ethanol varying from 0 to 85%, which means that even if it operates with 50% of ethanol and 50% gasoline, it will be operating efficiently. Or if it operates with 85% gasoline and 50% diesel, when ethanol, it will be operating efficiently. Or if it is 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline, which means that in any proportion of gasoline and ethanol, these vehicles are able to operate with the best fuel economy whatsoever may be the driving conditions. Like for example, even if you take the case of Mexico, like we have potential for making use of biodiesel. And countries like Mexico, you can look for such biofuels before we ultimately move on to electric vehicles. So I always used to say that, countries like Mexico should go from gasoline or the diesel operated vehicles into biofuel operated vehicles, then move into hybrid electric vehicle, and eventually move into electric vehicle.